Brigham Young University, a place of learning, growth, and the pursuit of excellence. But behind the iconic buildings and vibrant campus lie stories of vision, dedication, and extraordinary generosity. This is the story of Jack and Mary Lois Wheatley, two individuals whose unwavering commitment to faith and education have left an indelible mark on this institution, shaping its very landscape and future. From their distinct backgrounds, Jack and Mary Lois learned the values of hard work, integrity, and the importance of giving back. Jack, with his West Point training and sharp business acumen, and Mary Lois, with her artistic eye and deep compassion, formed a partnership built on shared values and a desire to make a difference. Their impact on BYU is profound. From the breathtaking beauty of the campus grounds, adorned with thousands of trees they donated, to the inspiring works of art housed in the museum they helped establish, their influence is woven into the fabric of the university. But their legacy extends beyond the physical. Their vision for strengthening the core institutions of society lives on through the Wheatley Institute, a place where ideas are explored and future leaders are shaped. This is their story, a story of faith, vision, and the enduring power of generosity, a story that continues to inspire and uplift the BYU community.
My parents came from very different backgrounds. My father from a farm, and my mom from a city life with all the advantages that come with that.
Growing up, his older brothers and sisters all considered him the baby of the family, and he was spoiled to death. But by any of our standards, they lived a very simple life of poverty during World War II and the Depression. He said he never felt like he was poor because his mother was always taking food to other people. And that was his gauge of they were not the poor ones. But he learned the value of money. Wasting was not part of his culture. He always wanted to spend his money on something of worth.
I think for my father, getting an appointment to West Point after a year of college in Idaho really changed his life forever. He came from this Idaho farming community to New York City and then to West Point, and really opened his eyes to the whole world, really.
He would say that's one of the defining moments of his life, because there he learned discipline, how to get things done, and also West Point inculcated principles of duty, honor, country in him. And so that's sort of the start of the civic spirit, and serving others is from there.
The other blessing from going to West Point was that my mother happened at the same time to be studying art in New York City.
My parents complemented each other. My dad was very practical and business-minded and organized, and my mom brought grace and beauty and art into everything that she did.
My mother was shaped quite heavily by her experience at the University of Utah under a professor named Alvin Gittins that really took her under his wing and taught her how to be an excellent portrait artist, and also helped her to move on to the Art Students League in New York City, where she studied art and honed her skills. After graduating from West Point, about 3 weeks later, the Korean War broke out, so my dad's whole class was shipped overseas to Korea, and he served there for about a year and a half. After my dad's time in Korea, he came home and was happy to find that my mother was still available, and they were married shortly thereafter in April of 1952. My dad stayed in the Army for his committed service, and after that decided he wanted to get out on his own and do more things.
I think he had more of an entrepreneurial spirit, and he wanted something better for his family than just moving every few months where the Army assigned him. And so he left the Army after completing his 4 required years.
Moving to the Bay Area in the 1950s to build things was a great decision. It was a great place to raise a family, so I think they were really blessed in their choice of where to go. With the contract for the Oakland Temple, he was greatly blessed with amazing mentors, both at Jacobson and also at the church, who would send people down to check out what this young project manager was doing. He learned to build things with a total different level of quality and excellence, which stayed with him for the rest of his life and all the things he did. And I think that really helped him in the rest of his career to see what could be done and how well things could be done.
He always had a faith in God, and it was really at the basis of everything. He had a strong sense of stewardship, that everything, his talents, his time here on earth, all of the resources that came so easily to him, that was his stewardship.
When I became a student at BYU in 1971, they didn't have the kind of landscaping he thought that a university should have, and so he suggested that they plant more trees. And that was the start, really, of his involvement at BYU.
And my dad just didn't write a check. He wanted to come walk around the campus with the facilities people and help decide which trees and what trees and how to landscape.
He didn't want to just give people things. He wanted to help people, but part of that was them learning for themselves and learning the value of hard work. You know, give a man a fish and he'll eat for a day. You know, teach a man to fish and he'll eat for the rest of his life. I think that was, part of my father's philosophy.
My dad's desire to add beauty to his buildings and at BYU really can be attributed to my mother, who helped him see that the utilitarian function wasn't the only thing that mattered, but beauty and in nature and in one's surroundings could really make a difference in your life.
More and more, as he got involved with BYU, he thought it'd be great to have a Wheatley Institute that would have the values of family, religion, and things that could be promoted in a civic manner so that it would be available to all people. He loved the idea of a scholar that could hold firm to all his beliefs and things, but could have great discussions with other people and help people understand their beliefs. I think that helped him want to have the Wheatley Institute, because there scholars could come of our faith and of other faiths that shared the same values and have great discussion and learn together.
Jack and Mary Lois Wheatley were very modest people. The Wheatley Institution is one of the few exceptions where he had his name, because I think he wanted to show that his concern for generations of students at BYU was something that he felt very passionately and personally about. I think he wanted students at BYU to feel that they could pursue truth, that they could enter to learn and go forth to serve in a very genuine and deep way. I think he wanted there to be a sense that there was an ongoing legacy of scholarship with faith that would be a blessing to the students, but also to the families of the students and to the people that the students would interact with throughout their lives and their communities and their church and in their countries.
When I think about Jack and Mary Lois Wheatley, I think about honor, I think about integrity, and I think about quiet dignity. The way that they went about doing good was in a way that didn't draw attention to themselves, but was always super effective.
I think the vision of the Wheatley Institution was that there would be a place for students and scholars to have a place where they could understand and pursue truth with the desire to be a blessing to those around them.
I think that Jack and Mary Lois Wheatley were very concerned about where they saw institutions going. They saw how families were disintegrating and failing to form. They were concerned about what they saw about rule of law and respect for our constitutional order. The Wheatleys wanted their investment in Wheatley Institute to make a significant difference.
My dad's vision for the Wheatley Institute was to be a place on campus that could bring important ideas together to bless both the campus community and the world. My dad felt that the Wheatley Institute could take the message of BYU and the church and the values that we stand for out into the world in a way that maybe the university itself or the church itself couldn't do.
They were visionaries, and that vision is now being translated into real impactful research and communication and programs that are making a difference and will continue to fortify families, congregations, and communities around the world.